Well, hi everyone, it's On the Run time yet again, this time from Melbourne. Roll the intro. Yes, we all love the On the Run intro, don't we? Well, last week it was Sick Andrew. This week it's Sicker Andrew, I'm afraid. I'm coughing, I'm spluttering, but I'm still going to get through On the Run. So please forgive me if I cough and splutter a bit. Please forgive me if my voice is a bit croaky, but you know, we got to do what we got to do. So let us get into the news of the week. And so, yes, here I am in Melbourne. Greetings from Melbourne. And let's start as we normally do in Macau. So Macau welcomed 2.21 million visitors in June. That was down 5,000 month on month, so basically flat. 5,000 less than May, which itself was 2.6% down on April, so about 60,000 down on April. So pretty much visitation totally flat in Macau at the moment. Macau hotel occupancy is not flat though, up more than doubled to 82% in the first half of 2023, up from 40% from 40% for the first half of 2022. And also good news for the hoteliers, the average daily rate up 58% year on year to 1,247 MOP, about $150 US per room per night across the board, across all different hotel accommodations in Macau. All right, that's it for Macau. We're going to move on to the Philippines. PAGCOR came out and said they're going to launch their online casino by early 2024. So it's casinofilipino.com, which of course is their brand name for their own casinos. So they're going for their own online casino, and they say this is going to be a globally facing brand. The idea is to increase the value for sale when they finally do privatize, but it is not clear 100% that the online gaming operations will indeed be part of the sale. Hopefully we can clear that up with PAGCOR eventually. Another story this week, Benjamin Diokno, the Finance Secretary of the Philippines, he once again doubled down on his calls for privatization. He said the process should be rapid and does not require specific legislation. So basically he's saying get on with it, PAGCOR, privatize as soon as you can. Still in the Philippines passed 3 million international visitors on the 19th of July. So 3 million visitors, international visitors for the year, nearly halfway, and they are shooting for 4.8 million international visitors for the year. And what's the biggest feeder market? Yep, you guessed it, not China, South Korea. So 1 in 4 people who visit the Philippines from overseas are from South Korea. Now, still in the Philippines, Morgan Stanley came out this week and said that Solaire North, the Quezon City Solaire property, which is getting close to finished and ready to open, would likely be delayed until the second quarter of 2024, but offered no explanation or reason why they say it would be delayed. And there's no confirmation of this from Solaire. So we're really a little bit in the dark on this. Despite saying that there would be that delay, Morgan Stanley is still very bullish on Solaire, and why wouldn't you be? Solaire's market share, they said, was up 1.5 percentage points. Just got a message on my phone, excuse me. 1.5 percentage points to 37.3%. Akata's share, this is between the big four in Entertainment City. Akata's share 26.3%, COD 20.3%, leaving 16.1% for Newport. So Solaire well and truly out in front there in market share terms. Akata needing to overcome a more than 10 percentage point difference to get in front. Still in the Philippines, Premium Leisure came out with their financials for Q2, up 49%. Their net income was to $23 million US. That's their net income, bottom not EBITDA, but bottom line. They get approximately half of what COD Manila makes through various different formulas and shares of different things. So Premium Leisure, the company that owns the land that COD is on. Now, still in the Philippines, Mega World is to open. So Mega World, of course, the Tan family, and they have now have the former Resorts World Manila, now Newport World Resorts, but they also have this company Mega World, this subsidiary Mega World, a very big property developer in the Philippines. They're going to be opening the largest hotel at West Side City. It's also the largest hotel in the entire country, 1,530 rooms. It's a 2-tower, 19-story hotel called Grand West Side, and they expect that to open, I think, one tower towards the end of this year and one tower next year. Still in the Philippines, but down now to Cebu. Better have some water, I'm afraid, everyone. I'm trying to look after the throat. They're down to Cebu. So PH Resorts. So this is, excuse me. That's a bit better. Dennis Ui's Udena Group. They have PH Resorts. And of course, regular readers of IAG will know that they were in talks with Solaire, or with Bloomberry Resorts, I should say, with Bloomberry Resorts Corporation, for Bloomberry to take them over, but it all fell through in March and didn't happen. So now the PH Resorts wants to revive or resurrect their Cebu IR dream, and they want to build the Emerald Bay. That's the name of the resort that's going to be down there if they get it finished. So shareholders have approved them increasing their common stock from 8 billion shares to 15 billion shares in an effort to raise some funds. In May, the group came out and said they had numerous other parties in discussions with them to be investors, but we haven't heard any more of that. So let's see if this second casino in Cebu, the first casino is already open, New Star. Let's see if this second casino in Cebu does indeed get open. Still arguably in the Philippines, a story about us, IAG. We announced the categories for the IAG Academy IR Awards. So if you've been following IAG, you will know that we have announced a series of events, which we are calling Super September, on September 12, 13 and 14. So we'll be having our Manila After Dark event and also IAG Academy Summit opener on September 12 evening. That's at Newport World Resorts at the Grand Bar and Lounge. Invitation only, of course, as all MADs are these days. And then September 13 and 14, we'll be having a 2-day summit, the IAG Academy Summit. And the evening of September 13, we'll be having the IR Awards. Long waited the IR Awards. There has not been a proper IR Awards in Asia since 2019. So that is a very long time. And we've announced 20 categories and also 3 other special awards at the end of the night, honouring people as well as offerings and companies. Anyway, moving on now to Genting Singapore, and Nomura came out during the week bullish on Genting Singapore, simply based on the good results of Marina Bay Sands. Well, yes, I suppose you could argue that a jurisdiction is doing well if a competitor in the same jurisdiction does well, but there are also differences between individual operators within the same jurisdiction, and Nomura would be well to consider that. I'm sure they probably have. But anyway, they came out and said that this bodes well. The good MBS results, Marina Bay Sands results, bodes well for Resorts World. They said the GGR for Resorts World Sentosa is now above 90% of pre-COVID levels, and that Marina Sands reporting a net revenue of 925 million and an adjusted EBITDA of 432 million was great news for Resorts World. But they did note the slower than expected Chinese travel recovery, which has been a common theme throughout the entire industry in the Asia Pacific region. Now to Vietnam, an interesting story that came out a few days ago. The Chow Fook Cheng family that runs Chow Fook has taken over apparently the management of Hoiana. Now Hoiana, of course, is this property at Hoi An in Vietnam that was sort of, again, excuse me, that was sort of being run by this joint venture between three parties, Chow Fook, which is the Cheng family, LET Group, the former Sun City listed company, and Vina Capital. Vina Capital, a very well-known capital company and real estate development company in Vietnam. And Sun City was sort of running the show there, but now apparently the Cheng family of Rosewood fame as well, and of course there are Rosewoods at the property, is running the show apparently. Bloomberg reported this. The Cheng family, or Chow Tai Fook, also has a legacy 10% of SJM, 4.99% of the Star in Sydney and Queensland, the troubled Star, Star Entertainment, and of course 25% of the new Queen's Wharf development in Brisbane. That will be very interesting to see what happens with that. Now going over to Goa in India, a place we don't report on very often. We should report on it more, and I will be reporting on it more in the future. The chief minister there, by the name of Pramod Sawant, I hope I pronounced that correctly, he came out this week and said no more casinos in Goa, or no more offshore casinos in Goa. Technically, casinos in Goa are split between land-based and offshore. There are 17 casinos in Goa, 11 land-based and 6 offshore. Now, I may get this slightly wrong. My memory is that the land-based ones are not allowed to have table games and the offshore ones are allowed to have table games. But there are some interesting loophole jumping through going on in Goa. I'll report on that when I'm more knowledgeable about it. Actually, I have had some contact with some casinos in Goa and they have asked me to go and visit, and I will go and visit when I get a chance, which probably means early next year, to be frank. What else? Still in India, so Delta Corp, Jaidev Modi, keen watchers of the Power 50 will notice that Jaidev Modi sometimes is in the Power, some years makes it into the 40s of the Power 50s, of the Power 50, and some years is in the ones to watch. Anyway, he's kind of like the number one guy in India. This Delta Corp is sort of the main casino company in India. And Delta Corp this quarter had their all-time high revenue of $41 million US. I've been noticing this all over Asia. Everywhere's pumping right now. All the revenge travel, all the post-COVID period. I think we're in for a couple of years of boom now. So even India's getting it. And Jaidev Modi offered some commentary in the quarterly results, but also did refer to the biggest issue that they're going through at the moment, which is this GST. The India GST Council slapped a flat 28% tax on most gambling in India. So how is that actually going to work? And looking for regulatory clarity on that is something that Delta Corp is working through at the moment. All right, now to Japan, and one of our favorite jurisdictions, and a very problematic jurisdiction sometimes too, Nagasaki. Excuse me. I'm struggling through this on the run, but I'm gonna give it all to you. So Nagasaki Governor Oishi, the governor of Nagasaki, he indicated some possible changes. Surprise, surprise, it's Japan, there's always changes. Some possible changes to the IR situation there. Kengo Oishi is the governor there, and he said that following the April 22 application to the central government, there's still no clarity. What are we now, July 23? So Osaka got approved, but Nagasaki has not been approved. And he came out and said, quote unquote, there is a scenario in which we adjust the schedule as well as the income and expenditures in relation to the IR plan. So this is code for, hey, everything's going to change. The winning consortium was Kyushu Resorts Japan, led by Casinos Austria. IAG had a lot to say about that at the time. We really liked Oshidori's application. We saw all their plans and their renderings, and they were excellent. And that we believe that their management team had the experience and had the sort of knowledge and wherewithal to run integrated resorts, whereas we were very leery about casinos. Austria have never run very large-scale casinos. So anyway, looks like there could be some changes there. I mean, what's happening there is there was a 2027 planned opening. Now there are funding concerns. Well, really, no surprise. At the time we in IAG said it, we said, where's the money coming from? And, they're predicting year 5 sales of 1.94 billion. So we're predicting 2 billion in sales all the way down in Nagasaki. We're talking kind of Marina Bay Sands levels here, or nearly Marina Bay Sands levels, in a huge place like Singapore, really, really successful, in a place like Nagasaki, which doesn't even have the very fast train going down there. I mean, we can't see it. They're saying that they're going to get nearly 7 million visitors a year down there by year 5. I mean, these numbers are not realistic. So, some trouble in paradise for Nagasaki. What else? Oh, yes. One last story for the week. In supplier news, I thought this was really interesting. Light & Wonder came out and gave their first ever ESG report, environmental, social and governance report, outlining their CSR, their corporate social responsibility efforts, and outlining 5 pillars. Isn't this interesting? I mean, I think this is the new black, this CSR. I think a lot of companies globally in the years to come, this is a big trend and change for the future, as we have global warming, as we have a heightened sense of responsibility to all stakeholders, not just financial, but all stakeholders who are affected by companies' actions. I think this ESG reporting and this CSR stuff is going to be huge, and I think companies are going to live and die by it eventually. So it's great to see Light & Wonder coming out for the first time and doing an ESG report and talking about how their actions can be for the good of the planet and the good of all stakeholders involved. So good on Light & Wonder for doing that, and I'm sure each year it's going to get better. Well done. So my run continues. As I said before, I'm in Melbourne right now. I will be going, believe it or not, of all places, to Port Vila on Monday. So next week's will be from Vanuatu, a place I haven't been for 30 years. I was over there 30 years ago setting up a sports betting shop. So I'm really excited to go over there and see how it is, see how it's changed, if it's changed. Then I'll be back in Melbourne at the end of the week, end of next week, and here for another week or so, and then heading over to Manila again, probably August 14, to spend another week in Manila, perhaps longer, and then back to Macau. So that's it for this week. Thank you for bearing with me while I've been very sick. I've got through it, and have a great weekend. I will try and get some rest over the weekend, meeting some friends I haven't seen for a long time now. I'm down here in Melbourne, so I'm excited about that. And then I'm excited about going to Vanuatu on Monday. So hopefully see you next week from Vanuatu. And that's it for this time. Bye for now. Have a great weekend. See ya.
Run.